Welcome to Tamar Bowling Video Ball Reviews. If you like what we do, help support us by joining us over on patreon.com. I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Pureit Bowling. Visit our partner pureitbowling.com and use the special code TAMAR when making a purchase to be entered into a monthly drawing. Hey Tamar Bowling fans, welcome to another edition in our tutorial series. Today we're going to talk about the impact of layouts. So let's just jump right in. So let's discuss what affects ball motion in general. I'm going to talk about it at a macro and a micro level. So what affects ball motion at a macro level? Assuming we eliminate as many variables as possible, the surface of the ball affects 70% of the ball reaction, while ball dynamics affects the remaining 30%. If you look at the USB-C ball motion study, it shows that the top 5 factors affecting ball motion are ball surface roughness, which is how deep the pores are, on-lane coefficient of friction, that's where the oil is on the lane, surface roughness, that's the distance between the pores in the cover, then the dry lane, coefficient of friction, and finally oil absorption. Then you get finally to RG and total differential, which is about the core dynamics. So for context, in position 6, which is the RG, it's about a third of the impact of surface roughness. Now that doesn't mean it's not impactful, but surface dictates the majority of ball reaction. So the surface in combination with the lane surface, ball surface, lane surface. So now we get into layouts, right? Now that we've kind of set the stage, since ball dynamics themselves account for only 30%, layouts can impact a small window of that. I'll just venture, I don't know, let's say 15% to give it the benefit of the doubt, but likely less. The reason being, you can alter RG and differential with pin position, but within a limited constraint. You're not going to turn a 2.49 RG ball, which is low RG, into a 2.69 RG ball. So generally speaking, layouts affect ball motion on what I call a micro level. So this video will actually demonstrate that it is even less than 15%, but it's not negligible to a seasoned bowler. So in this experiment, we take the Storm Physix, a high-end hybrid asymmetric ball. The specs are 2.48 RG, 053 diff, 017 intermediate differential for a 15-pound ball. Doug Scheidig is our tester, and he has 2 Storm Physix. One is laid out at a 20 by 5 by 40, and the other is a 60 by 1.5 by 30. The theory is that the first ball should have some length while being pretty quick rolling moderate transition. And the second ball positions the pin very close to the PAP, so it should be very stable and smooth reacting. So ultimately the question is, how different are they on the lane? Well, let's take a look. Here are 2 shots, A and B. Can you tell which ball is which? Here's what Digitrax tells us about these 2 shots. One is generating 4.3 degrees of entry angle, while the other 5.5 degrees. The breakpoints are almost identical at 41.2 feet. So, what do you think? Well, the one generating more angle is B, the 5-inch pin. So let's keep going. Here's another A and B. He's moved in a bit. Both shots are 15 at the arrows and 7 to 8 at the breakpoint. These shots obviously look different. Can you guess which one is which though? Before I tell you the answer, here's what Digitrax shows. Shot A is generating 4 degrees entry angle, while shot B generates 5.9 degrees. Well, even though I tried to throw you off, the one with more entry angle is still the 5-inch pin. Now here's one last direct comparison shot using speed with less hand and rotation from the outside. Now could you tell which one is which? Digitrax puts these 2 shots almost identical, but shot A is the 1.5-inch pin and shot B is the 5-inch pin. Before I go further, let's see some more action. Here are progressive shots with the 1.5 inch pin ball. And with each shot, Doug moves 2 with his feet and 1 at the arrows. Each shot is very predictable. The overall shape is so similar, but the one thing it doesn't do is create a ton of angle down lane. And that makes total sense, as the pin location puts the core in a very stable position. Eventually you'll see that the downlane reaction is too soft to carry, and he leaves a flat 10 with the ball deflecting severely through the pins. Now he does the same progression with the 5-inch pin. And again, he moves 2 and 1 with each shot. And he can throw several more shots and get several boards deeper before the 5-inch pin gives up the carry. Now while we watch the rest of these shots, which ball do you think is better? Okay, that's really a trick question. The answer depends on the situation. Did you expect the ball reactions to be significantly different? Did you expect them to cover less or more boards? Well, the test here shows that layouts affect ball reaction, but at a micro level. That's what I call it. But basically, it's the same ball reaction until just a bit past the break point. And then the 1.5-inch pin is more stable with a less violent reaction down lane. That didn't actually mean you needed to move. On the contrary, you could play the balls more or less on the same line. But when the pattern's a bit longer, you may want the ball to be more aggressive turning over, and when the 5-inch pin is leaving you 8 and 9 pins going through the deck a little too hard, the 1.5-inch pin would be a perfect ball. Now, do you have room in your bag for the same ball with 2 different layouts? That really depends on how big your bag is. While you can see usefulness in having different layouts, you want to understand the impact. This surface tutorial showed you that you definitively have to adjust lines with surface. Back-end reaction is changed with extreme surfaces in either direction, but it comes at the cost of impact in the front and the mid lane. Layout variations will not change what the ball does in the fronts and the mids very much, but it will more likely impact the way the ball comes off the spot. It's much more subtle. You have to decide if you have or need room for that subtlety. In some cases, people really love a certain ball, and you can then carry multiples of the same ball with varying surfaces and layouts. So in the end, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but to make it clear what the differences are. Now before I close, I want to make something else clear. A 1.5-inch pin is an extreme layout. You have to use extreme layouts to see real differences. And extreme would be defined as less than 2-inch pin to pap or more than 6 inches pin to pap. Between 2 inches and 6 inches, the differences are way more subtle than what you see here. So hopefully you took something away from this. Thanks for watching Tamara Bowling videos. Stay tuned for more tutorials coming soon.
I need to tell you what Tamara Bowling Ball reviews